What's up guys, it's Raymond with another video. The question for this video is, who are you? Who are we? Who am I? So a lot of people don't question themselves in terms of their personal identity and who they are as a person and what shapes their identity. A lot of people just reach the surface level in terms of their identity, and they just see themselves as who they are or who they want to be seen as, and as well as what other people see themselves as. And a lot of people don't even go to the extent of considering how other people perceive them, for insecurity reasons. It could be for any type of reason. But the main thing I want to talk about in this video is what shapes us as a human being, and do we have control of what of our personal identity? Can we change it, and to what extent can we change it? So this video it might seem a bit pessimistic, and if it does seem pessimistic, I apologize. It's just the truth in terms of my experience. But what I've experienced is that a lot of the actions you take are not in your control. And what do I mean by that? So human beings, our personal identity is shaped by three main factors. The first main factor is your brain. Your brain, specifically the specifically the neurons in your brain. So your central nervous system, in other words your brain, is basically the neurons. The neurons are the nerve cells in your brain that basically send electronic signals to each other. They communicate with each other. There's trillions of neurons in your head, and this combination of messages basically forms a map as to the actions that you're going to take. So just based on that alone, you know that your actions are determined. Your actions are determined by the messages that are transferred in your brain and the map that is created. The second factor that contributes to your personal identity is your genes. The genes are probably the most important factor that contributes to who you are. So you didn't choose to be 5'10", you didn't choose to be 6'10", you didn't choose to be 5'4", you did not choose to be 2 feet tall, you didn't choose to be paralyzed, you didn't choose to be healthy. What determines your biological health is basically your genes, your genetic code, and your genes are derived from your parents, and their genes are derived from their parents, etc. So genes are the second most contributing factor in terms of your personal identity, and that's why a lot of people they share a lot of traits with their parents. For example, high ambition or high drive. A lot of people that have high ambition or high drive or high athletic ability get it from their parents. So that's another determining factor. The third and final determining factor of your identity is your surroundings. I think there's a saying going around that you are the culmination of the 5 people that you spend the most time around, and that is very, very true to an extent. So basically what it means is that every single social environment you've been in has contributed to who you are as a person, and this process slows down over time, because when you get to a certain age of adulthood, your personality becomes more solidified. So that's the third factor. So all of those 3 factors, the brain in terms of the neurons, your genes, as well as the social encounters you've been in and the events that have happened in your life, your surroundings, those 3 things contribute to who you are and your personal identity. Apart from that, outside of those factors, all of your actions are dependent on those 3 factors. Anything else, any other factors maybe have a smaller contribution to your actions, or all your actions are dependent on those 3 factors majoritively. So this might be seen as a pessimistic video, but it is what it is. You don't have free will. Is it's become very simplified in terms of people's outlook on it. It's not as simple as you think, because you are determined by your genes, your brain chemistry, and your environment. So that's the message for this video. I hope you guys have enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next one.